Hey guys, it's Ryan here with HobbiesofaMan once again, and today we're going to be doing our TBR video. Now, this TBR video is both for December and for the holiday period after I stop doing videos for the year. And so it actually basically is a month and a half's worth of time that I'm covering here, maybe even more, up to 2/3 of January as well. So there's a lot of stuff here that I'm going to mention because I have 18 days here and then 2 more days before I finish putting up stuff on the channel for the year. And then I have like a month basically of my winter break because I don't start school until late January, almost on the 20th, I think. So because of that, there's going to be a very big TBR video, as in there's going to be a lot of books. Now, will I read all of these? Probably not. I'll probably be all super gung-ho, and then I'll end up reading everything but the books that I mentioned today. But that's just kind of par for the course, so I'm kind of okay with that. However, I am going to at least take most of these with me to my house when I go visit my parents for the break. I'm gonna be there for a month, so bringing a lot of books with me is the easiest way for me to have something to do like at that place, right? So and it's not going to be the same as Thanksgiving because usually when we have other family over, my parents kind of play host to them, so I end up kind of having a lot of free time. And so I will have time to read this time. So let's get into it. So first of all, let's start with stuff that I want to finish off from previous months. So I have Conan and Cole as well, but I don't know where I left it, so I'm not going to show it to you. But I do want to finish up this book because here I have, let's see how many pages there is. I've got about 100 pages left in Conan. There's about 5 stories here before I get to the miscellanea, and the miscellanea is not necessarily important for me to read at this moment, so I will be able to finish this relatively quickly as long as I actually manage to make time to read it, right? So there's Conan, book 1, and then I want to read Cole, and that's also just a single book. And then, if I have time, maybe I'll start Solomon Kane. I'm not really sure that I will, but I might. So, there you go. That's it for that. Then, I have to finish reading Tarzan. I have 2/3 of the book left, so I want to read that because I've been really excited to get to the Jewels of Opar book. Because I want to see Law again, and I have not had time or desire to read more Tarzan because I've been focusing on other things. So I want to finish up Tarzan. Then I want to finish up this book, and I actually want to make this a priority because I realized that I haven't really read many light novels this month, or this year actually, beyond solo leveling, and I want to have video or books that I can talk about in my top 5 light novels of the year video that I always do, right? I don't want to have to stop making that video this year because I don't have enough reading material to mention. So I do want to read at least 2 or 3 more light novels, but I don't know which ones they will be. So I'm not going to force myself to pick any of them. I'm just going to randomly grab some this month and try to read them before I make that video. So there's that. And then I didn't get to start this, but I do want to read it this year. So I will start it at least. I want to at least get halfway through the first book in the Query series by the end of the year. Then we have Legends and Lattes. This was one that I was very interested in reading last month because it was nice, like a nice comfy read as far as I understand it. I didn't get to read it, so I'm going to push on and see if I can read it this month. And I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's a pretty cool story, and I'm looking forward to it. So that's it for that. Then I have Wheel of Time. I've already read half of this. However, I feel like I need to reread it so I can review it on the channel. Good thing I have the audiobook as well. So I'm probably going to read to the audiobook and then see if I can finish reading along with the actual book. I'm not really sure because I really enjoyed the audiobook, and it's actually a lot easier for me to just listen to the audiobook on my phone than have to carry an extra book with me, right? So we'll see how that goes. So that's it for that. In terms of stuff that I've started or I've been thinking about starting that I never got around to. And then there's some reread stuff that I want to get into. but I don't have any of it with me right now because they're all in my long boxes. So that would be the Tarzan miniseries. That would also be the last 4 issues of Death Dealer, so I can finish off the Frank Frazetta Death Dealer review series. And I had something else. I think it was Rogue Sun, issues 1 through 10, which is the first arc of the story. I want to finish reading that again and making a review for it, because I think that's the only other Massiveverse thing that I haven't reviewed on the channel. So I want to get around to doing that at some point, and this is the easiest time period for me to actually read a lot. So yeah, then that's it for things I've mentioned before, I think, or that I have read before, as far as I remember. So let's move on to comic books that I want to read. Now, some of these I'm not sure that I will read, like The Forged. I don't think I'll actually get around to doing that this month. And I want to reread the first 3 issues and then finish reading the next 3 issues and just review all of it. So it's a lot of reading though, because these are really big books. So I don't know if I'll get around to doing that this month, but I might actually do it in January. Then I also want to start reading Ultimate Spider-Man. But again, I don't think I'll do that this month. I just do want to kind of mention that here because I might go crazy and just start reading the first volume, regardless of whether I have other things to do or not, because that's just kind of how I end up reading most of the time. So yeah, and then in terms of comic books, besides that, I have a bunch of them back here. So we have Calimán. This one is a priority. I want to read this as soon as possible. I'm very excited about it, and I really want to see if I enjoy this, because I want to collect the rest of the Calimán series if I do. And in order to do that, I have to be kind of quick about ordering them because they kind of print them in limited runs from Gamites. So I have to be careful with that. I want to read this as soon as possible. So you know what? I did realize I did forget to mention a comic book before, and that was Battle Chasers. I'm about a fourth of the way through, and I do want to finish reading it by the end of the year. I want to read some of my birthday presents my sister got me, and that I got myself, and then my parents got me. So I want to read Tarzan, The New Adventures. These are comic book strips. Each strip is its own story, but there's kind of like a continuity to it. And I really like these a lot, so I want to read that. Then I want to read The Last God, or the Felspire Saga, or Chronicle, book 1. This one's a really interesting book. The art style here is pretty varied. It doesn't seem like that many artists, it doesn't look like many of the issues were made by the same artist. I'm not really sure actually, but the art style here is interesting, and the story is supposed to be very high fantasy, and I think that that's something that I have not really gotten to experience in Western comic books yet, so I want to give it a try. Then we have Asterix, which is a European comic book. This is like a comedy book, and it has like historical elements to it. So there you go. Then continuing on with the epic fantasy stuff, I want to read some Once and Future, some Kieran Gillen. I want to really enjoy his his books, his writing, because I've not really gotten to experience very much of it, and I know that he's a great writer and that he does a lot of fantasy stuff. So he's really up my alley. I just haven't gotten around to enjoying his stuff. And also Dan Mora draws this, and his collaborator does the colors, and it shows, and it looks so good. Hopefully we get to see Dan Mora take on Conan, but I don't know if that's possible. I think he has an exclusive contract with DC, because I don't think he does any work for anyone else. He has before, but I don't know that he currently does anything. And then to round out the comic books, we have some more Invincible. So this should cover arcs 2 and 3, and there's a little bit of arc 4 in this book as well, which I won't get around to until I have book 5 and 6. So yeah, I really love Invincible, and I want to read more of it because I love Ryan Ottley's work. His art style is amazing. And then finally, in terms of manga, we have Kuroha Nijisuke. I want to read this because it's a one-shot. I don't really remember what it's about, but it seems pretty interesting. We have Boys Abyss, which I just want to read to keep up with it. Then Hitomi Shy with Strangers number 6, again, just to keep up with it. Same goes with Komi number 27. I want to experience more Dragon Maid stuff, so I want to read this, although I do want to actually collect the series. I'm bad at making sure to buy them. So, yeah. And then we have some new stuff that I want to check out, as well as some continuing stuff. So I want to continue Tsugumi Project. I'm trying to make sure that the pile over there doesn't fall. And Bride Story number 5. And in terms of new stuff, I have Pluto. And Ogami-san Can't Keep It In. And Witch Hat Atelier Kitchen. So that's my TBR for today. It's huge. It's a short video. I'm probably erratic throughout it, but I'm kind of in a rush. So I want to be able to get this video out as soon as possible, even though it's actually quite late by this time of day already in terms of like when I put out content. So yeah, let me know if you guys have a crazy large TBR for this holiday season. Let me know what you guys think down below. Am I going to be able to read all of this stuff or not? I doubt it, but I am hopeful that I will. So let me know what you think down below, and thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys later.